Some people love this item on Misfortune, others hate it. But what do you think? Oh, the invade and the counter invade. Misfortune's way too far. Yeah, needs to kite back. I mean, there's still 5 people. Heal coming out. Oh, come on, dude. I don't think this will result in any kills. Both teams can still disengage. They used some summoner spells, but nothing major. No flashes have been burned. Hello, my fellow Misfortunates, and welcome to another Challenger Misfortune analysis. Today we are looking at a Challenger player who is an advocate of rapid Firecannon Misfortune. I personally absolutely hate this item on this champion. I think any item that doesn't provide a substantial amount of attack damage is not worth for MF. But rapid Firecannon does have its merits. By the way, I'm not the only one with this opinion, don't get me wrong. There are actually players who think like me. For example, MDeal, who is a hardcore lethality player. I think he finished Challenger multiple times on the EU and East server. However, this Misfortune player, he goes for the standard Essence Reaver, Infinity Edge, and Rapid Firecannon with the Press the Attack rune page. The Gragas disconnect. I hope this replay is fine. Yeah, okay, he reconnects. So this should be an okay game played by this Challenger Misfortune main. Oh well. So Rapid Firecannon, I mean, the obvious synergy is with your Q, because not only is your not only is your auto attack range increased with the energized proc, but also Misfortune's Q range, because Misfortune's Q is always the same range as her auto attack. So that's the synergy. Also, you get some extra attack speed, which, well, doesn't hurt when you already have Essence Reaver and Infinity Edge. I had a quick glance at the post game of this, and it looked like he bought Essence Reaver. No, he bought a Rapid Firecannon even earlier, between Essence Reaver and Infinity Edge, which I think is quite interesting. I'm not sure if it's worth. Or maybe that was another replay I considered when trying to showcase Rapid Firecannon Misfortune. I don't actually remember. But yeah, if you go for Rapid Firecannon, you should go for its earliest third item. I think anything before third item is straight up soft inting, because you really need attack damage on Misfortune. Misfortune without attack damage is not a champion. Which is also the reason why AP Misfortune doesn't work. Good reaction. Thresh and Misfortune had lane priority right there, which made this roam really a no-brainer. Yeah, they should get this. Okay, they don't. They only get one of them. And the Misfortune, yeah, she gets an assist, which is nice. She has the Presence of Mind rune, which I also don't agree with, by the way. I think when you have Essence Reaver, you should be fine mana-wise if you don't, like, spam like crazy. And overheal on Misfortune is just so godlike. Oh well, I mean, this player certainly values Presence of Mind more. I mean, it's kind of okay. It's not the worst rune in the world for MF, because she is rather ability-based. And especially if you don't play her regularly, you might mismanage her mana, which then puts you in kind of a checkmate situation, especially before you get Essence Reaver. Oh well. But yeah, nice reaction. Whenever you have lane priority, which means you can approach the enemy laners, but they can't approach you, because you win the 2v2 fight in that situation, you can always use that to do stuff elsewhere on the map, because you can push in the wave while the enemy can't approach you, which means while they are busy farming the wave you just sent their way, you can then use that time to establish vision in the enemy jungle, or roam to mid lane for a gank, or, well, in this case, help against an enemy jungle invade. So yeah, right now, just some last hitting. I mean, Misfortune should try to pressure Senna in the early game, because Senna in the late game just gets stronger and stronger indefinitely. But, I mean, as far as the mid-game power spike is concerned, Misfortune should still be better off. So the pressure in this lane is actually not too big for Misfortune. She's not, like, forced to get an early lead. It's not like you're playing against a Vayne or something that just completely takes over at 3 items and there's nothing you can do about it. Nice try. Trying to predict the dodge. Didn't happen though. But yeah, again, you see Senna and Braum, they can't really approach because Misfortune and Thresh have more pressure than they do. Again, same concept. They push in the wave and then they go look for something else. In this case, they think an invade is happening. At least that's how I interpret those pings. Yeah, the enemy jungler is also a Nunu, which means he has early early dragon pressure. So yeah, this is why Thresh threw the lantern in there. I think he's actually doing it, isn't he? Yeah. Okay, so that's gone. Nothing they can do without their jungler. I mean, that's just what Nunu does, and a Gragas is not really able to contest that. Even if you try to contest the dragon against Nunu, I mean, what's realistically going to happen? You try to outsmite him, but Nunu can just consume smite combo, and you can't really outburst that, right? It's so much true damage. And, well, you only have your smite against smite plus consume, so you're not getting that realistically speaking. I wouldn't fight that. The enemy wave is so big. Seems to work out for them though. Yeah, that's so risky. If you, especially in low elo, people misclick on enemy minions, but the main issue is that the minions deal quite a bit of damage through auto-attacking you, and you can't really clear a wave mid-fight. So you're just taking a bunch of damage. You need to be super sure you can kill them in time before the minions kill you. Nice play. Misfortune needs to run though. Yeah, the Make It Rain coming out. Thresh is not going to live this. Misfortune does not have heal. Oh, he is. Okay, that must feel bad. That must feel so bad, actually. Yeah, for a second I thought Misfortune would be turning this around, but yeah. Consume restoring a little bit too much HP. Super lucky though that Thresh lived. But yeah, Misfortune needs to base, 0 HP. Senna just respawned, got back to lane with full health and full mana. You don't compete against this. Alright, so Misfortune recalled and returned to lane. And she definitely has item advantage right now. They are... well, she's slightly ahead in farm, and she has a kill. And Senna needs to spend gold on a tier. Whereas Misfortune is rushing Essence Reaver in this game, which means, yeah, she got like, what, 65 attack damage against Senna's 25. Yeah, this definitely also helps with lane priority. Senna does not want to fight Misfortune right now. This is risky. Yeah, I wouldn't walk up here. You don't have vision in the river. And, well, you see Senna under her tower, but you don't know who's there. Who's trying to get over the wall or just gank through the river normally. Also, Nunu can't just lane gank with Snowball. Okay, now we see him mid lane. So bot lane should be fine. Yeah, you see Pantheon. As long as you see him, he's not ulting you. You see Nunu. And Braum's also there. So yeah, Misfortune can just farm safely at this point. Try to go for some Q bounces. Against Braum. Well, Braum is one of those tank supports that's actually quite difficult to poke out of lane. He has like one of the highest base armors, and on top of that, one of the highest health regenerations of any champion. So yeah, poking a Braum is quite the task. Okay, they're just last hitting right now. Yeah, okay, Pantheon was miss. Now he's back in mid lane, which takes pressure away from bot lane. I guess they're sitting back because they were afraid of Pantheon. Right now they also might be afraid of Nunu. Well, not anymore, now we see him top lane. So I wonder why she's playing so passively. She really needs to try to press her item advantage against that Senna. Sorry about that. I just moved the camera for no reason. But yeah, okay, Misfortune, well, she needs to also kind of wait until Thresh gets a good hook. So being proactive against the Braum is also... I mean, it's quite risky, so I can understand why she's just trying to secure her last hits. Yeah, just waiting for the Thresh hook right now. Potentially happening. I mean, Thresh is also one level behind, which is also bad if you want to fight. Okay, now you need to all in. Alright, I would have expected Braum to follow up on that Senna snare. Oh, that's good. Senna's so low. That should be a kill, shouldn't it? Oh, come on. That's the misfortune nightmare right there. Gragas saves the day though. But you saw what happened right there? Misfortune tried to ult. She tried to first bait out Braum's Unbreakable and then ult. But Braum immediately ulted at the... Oh, come on, dude. At the same time. Cancelling Misfortune's ulti instantaneously. Oh well, again, Gragas just dashing over that wall. Yeah, she lives. Yeah, she actually lives. Crazy. I was so sure she would draw turret aggro from casting Naked Rain and then running that way. But the turret ignored her still. Maybe Pantheon was too far away? I mean, certainly. Else the tower would have just started shooting. But yeah, Misfortune actually getting away with her life right there. And now she has the Essence Reaver completed. I mean, even if you have Presence of Mind, which kind of devalues the mana gain from Essence Reaver, it's still 20% cooldown reduction. And 20% cooldown reduction is an important breakpoint for Misfortune. You really don't need more than that, but 20% is exactly the point at which you can constantly get your W active in a team fight by just switching targets once. In case you don't know, W's remaining cooldown gets reduced by a flat amount every time you apply Laugh Tap to a target. And with 20% CDR, you have 100% uptime by switching targets once. And switching targets once is really not a difficult task, so getting Essence Reaver is a huge DPS increase in team fights simply because of that 20% CDR. Yeah, the fight for Dragon. Blue team really doesn't want to give up another one. A teleport coming in. This Nunu is so low. They can just gun them down. Yeah, obviously, whenever you team fight against a Misfortune, you don't want to find yourself in a choke point like this. Because her ultimate obviously just covers the entire area and you have nowhere to run. Yeah, fighting Misfortune in the jungle is quite risky. Well, not per se. If you can catch her off guard, then she's obviously dead. But it's just the thing. It's just the point that she utilizes choke points so effectively with her R. Also the reason why Mountain Map is the best map for Misfortune, because the boulder coming out of the ground here, I mean right now we have Ocean Map, would be nice if it was Mountain Map so I could show you. But the boulder coming out of the ground creates extra choke points here and there, which, again, just set up for Misfortune's ultimate. Terrain is your friend first and foremost playing Misfortune. Okay, enemy bot lane, returning. I don't think this leads to much, yeah. Misfortune, she didn't base as well, she needs to spend some gold. Okay. Barely evading the Pantheon gank, but yeah. Whenever you have a lot of gold in your pocket... what's the shortcut? Yeah, this one. Okay, yeah, 1,600 gold. That's way too much. She spends this on an extra BF sword, plus a few consumables, which I don't think I agree with. Well, it depends. If she wants Berserker's Briefs, then she should have just bought a... I mean, even if she doesn't, she can just buy a dagger that later goes into Zeal. Because, you know, this Misfortune player loves Rapid Fire Cannon. But yeah, you just want to spend your gold. Every single bit of gold that you haven't spent is not making you any stronger. If you have like 3k gold in your pocket, and you're 3 and your stats are like 10 and 0, then you essentially are at 0-0, because 3k gold is 10 kills worth of gold that you haven't converted into combat stats yet. Obviously that comparison is not really perfect, because getting kills also implies getting enemies off the map, reducing their gold income and taking objectives. But just in terms of raw gold, you can think of it that way. So not only when you're low on health and mana you should recall, but also when you're high on gold. But yeah, back timings are one of the trickier things in League of Legends. I must admit, definitely. It's like one of the latest things I got somewhat decent at. Oh, that was... I mean, it's a good call to just press R with Misfortune here, because you could assume that Thresh lands that hook after you slow them with Make It Rain. Hitting a skill shot onto a slowed target is quite likely, especially when they only have tier 1 boots. Misfortune needs to run here. Yeah, she can't save Thresh. Oh, the Gragas though. Yeah, they're still outnumbered, 3 versus 4. Misfortune no ulti, this is super fishy. Okay, the Yasuo double ulti. Okay, with that you can definitely win a fight when you're outnumbered. But yeah, typically you need to always look at numbers advantage and numbers disadvantage. Whenever there are more enemies in the action than people from your team, you should disengage, because you're very likely to just die. In that case, Misfortune kept her distance, so she could have ran if she needed to, but she also saw Yasuo going in. So by just staying there, she put herself in a position where she could capitalize off of Yasuo hitting a good ultimate, which he ended up doing, so that was certainly a good play. So they just took bot tower, and obviously going bot lane doesn't accomplish much at this point. You want to take other towers across the map, and indeed, this Misfortune player opting for Boots of Swiftness. Yeah, this might be because they are against a Senna AD carry with Glacial Augment. It might just be preference. Boots of Swiftness are not bad on Misfortune by any means, because well, other AD carries, look at Tristana for example, she needs a lot of attack speed to keep firing, or Caitlyn even. But Misfortune's damage is so front-loaded, and with her Q and her other abilities, she's not really dependent on auto-attacking non-stop. So yeah, Boots of Swiftness are a fine choice on this champion, regardless of the matchup. If they fit your style, feel free to buy them. I mean, this Challenger player does it, so I would assume it's not too bad. I personally don't like it anymore. I liked it a few seasons ago, but in this season I think Berserker's Greaves are just better. Alright, dragon spawning. Definitely both teams want this. Oh, Misfortune's late to the party, isn't she? This should still be fine. He has no shield. Yeah, he also has no shield right now. But they can let them run. Chasing that Braum would be very stupid if you can impact a team fight big time with a Misfortune ultimate. Yeah, that ult did so much damage, it just zoned the enemy off the dragon, taking big chunks of their health, essentially guaranteeing that blue team gets dragon for free. That should be a kill, right? Yo, Mordekaiser ulti is scary, but Misfortune should have this. Yeah. Especially because of Bramble Vest. That looked a little bit dangerous for a second there. But yeah, now they took mid tower, which opens up the map quite a bit for them. Because, you know, mid tower is no longer providing vision for the enemy team, which means they can't see if they're getting invaded through this route. Route or route? I'm actually not sure. Or through this one. Also, blue team now has the option to push the minion wave way deeper into enemy territory. Yeah, that's an easy collapse onto Pantheon. He should die. He has no tower to fall back onto. Okay, red team still dished out quite a bit of damage, not gonna lie. That Misfortune... that looked scary. This is also why I really don't like the pure crit Misfortune in the current meta, because I think the itemization is just too inflexible. And flexibility in terms of item builds is one of Misfortune's big strengths. She can theoretically adapt to any situation, to any matchup, and does not need to suffer from the AD carry in 2020 meme, because she can buy semi-defensive items easily. Okay, we just saw a good example of Yasuo syndrome firsthand right there. So blue team now has numbers disadvantage, 4 people versus 5, potentially. So they just need to wait until Yasuo respawns. Well, unless the enemy makes a major mistake on which they can capitalize, but generally speaking, whenever you have numbers disadvantage, because one person just died, you don't want to force anything. Yeah, clearing vision around Baron, that's definitely fine. And yeah, the logical step is to just take this top tower. The farther out the tower, the farther away from the base, the easier it is to take. So this tower is gone, this tower is gone, this tower is the logical target, especially when you want to set up for a Baron play. Alright, Misfortune reacting immediately. She thought a fight was breaking out, so she abandoned this wave, which feels bad, but it's still the right call. I mean, that's just a personal weakness of mine. I always greed for minions when I really shouldn't. Yeah, reacting to what's happening on the map is definitely the right call. Even if nothing ends up happening, the off chance that a fight actually does break out is still there. And when that happens and you're not with your team, especially when you're that fed, Misfortune has 7 kills right now. If she's not with her team, chances are her team is not going to win the fight. So yeah, in that situation, Yasuo is split pushing bot lane. Nice poke, but yeah, you shouldn't really overextend. You should just wait until they react to the pressure created in the side lane. I mean, Yasuo recalls here, which is fine. The enemy bot lane, no, the enemy team still needs to react to the pressure on bot lane, or just lose a bunch of farm. It's either or. So yeah, whenever you want to split push, and this Yasuo really looks like he wants to split push, you need to wait until the enemy reacts to your split pusher, and then you can fight. Not before, because before that, you essentially have numbers disadvantage, because your split pusher is not with you. Okay, but now finally, please take this tower. It's so easy to take. Even pressuring Baron is very difficult when you didn't take top lane tower yet, because when you can push out the minion wave, the minions are acting as sources of vision. So if the enemy tries to go there to contest Baron, you immediately see them. It's just way safer. You want to push out mid lane and top lane before you contest this, or before you start this. Like, yeah, I think Riven is finally trying to do that. Misfortune taking the farm in the mid lane, staying with Thresh, so she can't get ambushed that easily. I mean, Mordekaiser and Pantheon both have a lot of pressure. She's fed, and she has rapid Firecannon now, but truth be told, when you're playing AD carry with a crit build, and even if you're super far ahead, as this Misfortune is, you can still get 1v1'd by the 4 and 5 Mordekaiser, and by the 5 and 6 Pantheon, definitely. Solo laners are just that strong. Okay, Yasuo just killed him, which is good. Now they can take the next dragon, right? Yeah, pressure the tower, because why not? Oh no, the Pantheon DC'd? Oh, come on, I don't want to narrate a game with an AFK. Oh well, maybe he reconnects. Yeah, again. You wanna take the free stuff, right? This dragon's free, enemy doesn't contest it. Mainly because of mid-tower difference. It's very difficult for the enemy team to do something, because they can't play the ball into the enemy's field, really. Okay, there's Pantheon. That's a big relief. That was aggressive, but it worked. I would not have dared to do this, because I would have just thought as soon as I commit to hitting that Nunu, I will get Pantheon ulted. Oh, that's risky. Yeah, okay. With Boots of Swiftness and the movement speed from Rapid Firecannon, okay, this is getting ridiculous. Yeah, this Misfortune can kite like a monster now. And you see right there, well, it's 3 versus 3 essentially, but the enemy are so low they can't defend the tower. So blue team should just be able to push that. Take the tower. Okay, perfect. That damage is crazy. But yeah, Misfortune is just snowballing out of control now. Again, taking this inhibitor would be the logical thing to do, but this would also be greedy, because you're just inviting Pantheon to kill you. And instead, you can use the time while the jungler is still down to take Baron. Rule of thumb, Baron is worth roughly as much as 2 enemy inhibitors. So when you have the choice between... I mean, I personally, I mean, I'm not a challenger player, I'm just a Diamond 2 scrub, but I personally still would have taken that inhibitor. It's not that, it wouldn't have taken that long. And I guess they still could have taken Baron, but I mean, the way they did it, it's definitely safer. Yeah, I mean, Nunu was dead for 24 seconds while they started it. So there's actually no chance they steal it, which is the most important thing, I would assume. And now they get the inhibitor anyway with the Baron minions. So yeah, ultimately I guess their decision was right. And with Baron, this is actually a good situation for... Alright. But you see, Miss Fortune saw the fight happening and she instantly started moving. Because you don't know, maybe this fight drags out, maybe enemies are moving to the fight, and then Riven is all of a sudden in a 1v2. And you as a teammate want to back her up, right? And this Miss Fortune build with the extra movement speed, well, Miss Fortune has super high movement speed from W, and this Miss Fortune has Swifties and Rapid Firecannon, both of which increase your movement speed. So roaming is actually super free for Miss Fortune. She can do it so fast. But yeah, now they take the inhibitor. And many people in low elo would be A-ramming those mid towers there, but that's the wrong call. You always want to base and push the lane with the most towers, so in this case bot lane. But, I mean, in that very situation, the minion wave in top lane is already pushed up, which means top lane is the better target, and Riven is taking care of bot lane anyway, so why should you go there? So yeah, in general, you want to push the wave with a way that can still take the most towers. But you, in the situation itself, you still need to look at where the minion wave is positioned. And also, if you have a split pusher, you need to keep in mind what they are doing. And yeah, now there's no chance the enemy can defend this. Blue team just takes down their base towers and wins the game. Yeah, that's Crit Miss Fortune. I'm not sure about Rapid Firecannon. I have another favorite build. If you want to see the best Miss Fortune build, click the link on your screen right there. A big thank you to all my Patreons and channel members. If you want to become a Patreon yourself, just go to patreon.com/mfdb. But if you rather save your money, you can support me for free by clicking the like and the subscribe button.